and you'll go down a path where eventually you're going to kill someone or get double figures for letting a shot off in a public place and no one's even been harmed. That's the way you go. It's like a knife. And what you need to understand, people, is the craze with the knives. If there was firearms in place, they would replace knives like that. Everyone's screaming about the knife crime because there's a lot of situations involving knife crime. But you're avoiding the risk of gun crime escalating very fast in the future. What's going to make that easier? Believe it or not, Labour coming into power. The borders are going to weaken again and you're going to get all sorts back into this country, including firearms from war-torn places. And once they get into the hands of the youth, which they will, why? Because all the main men are getting took out. There's no order no more. All these kids that are carrying knives at 13, 14, 15, every one of them is already looking at a gun. They just can't get it. So if you're on the streets, think about it. Think about the dynamics. If you're on the streets, and for years now, amongst 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds, the kid who stabbed the most people has got the most fearsome reputation, so he's got more pugs, so he's selling more weed, the birds around him more, he's got the best out bikes and clothes on. You know, the old ones are already feeding him because they know he's gay. So this kid's getting the parcels, he's getting the kilograms of weed, passing it on to his boys and all this madness. But then what happens is, my man pops up with a 9mm. She goes, now then you, with your knife, and your boss graft, because you've got everyone shook. I'm now just moving you to the side and taking. All these kids are observing the dynamics there. Stay away from him, he's got a gun. And the whole reason they're carrying a knife is so people say, stay away from him, he's got a knife. So all these kids that are carrying knives want to be like this kid now that's got the gun. And the only thing that's preventing that going like that is the lack of firearms on the streets. And that's what you've got coming in the future, people. You're already seeing it in Liverpool, and I've stated since I've been a criminal, since I was a criminal years ago, Liverpool has always been 5 years, 10 years ahead in the dynamics of crime. London, we're about 5 years ahead of London. Do you understand what I'm saying? All the other areas, we're a good decade in front when it comes to crime, how to make money, how to avoid capture and justice. We're well ahead of everyone in the game. So what you're seeing, what you need to look at about Liverpool is what's coming to the rest of the country in the future. And the way you've seen a couple of kids shot dead in Liverpool, you're already seeing a couple of kids getting shot around the country, aren't we, a couple of years later. And this is the point I'm making to you. It's not going to just all of a sudden start going backwards and de-escalating. It's a snowball effect, like everything in this world. It's got a snowball effect. When something starts going, it gets bigger, more depth to it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Until it just goes. Anyway, start coaching your kids now, and think about it. You know, think about the bigger picture. The kids that aren't dangerous with their hands, the kids that aren't dangerous with the fitness and the strength, they can strip an AK-47 down and put it back together if they were on a computer. They can name every part, name every bullet, name every type of bullet. They can name every handgun, every assault rifle. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just off computer games. They've got the eye and the coordination of marksmen, the kids, these gamers that sit in these rooms. And you think they're not dangerous, but if they had a firearm, mate, wow. Yes, Blades, because that's all there is, you know. It's just the hand-to-eye coordination, and you've got kids gaming since the age, and the speed and the calculations going on in the mind, like the zone, it'll go off. gonna go off. This is what I'm trying to highlight. Not yet, obviously. But down there somewhere, you know when you're seeing these big sci-fi films where there's pollution everywhere and people are wearing masks and everyone's carrying these laser weapons. I've become judgmental in the sense that if I see something acting that's not, you know, God's way, I'm judging it on the spot and saying something. That's judgmental to me. I'm going, not having this here, not on my patch. And I don't think people think it's my responsibility or not. I can't just turn the blind eye no more. I've turned a blind eye to some match like that. Seeing some match and just have to try and bury them images. It's mad, mate. Lulu saying you tried. Tried what? Oh, what do you mean with Ems? And she is what she is, they can't do nothing. And she mightn't admit it, but from where I am, you know, and from where the majority of yous are, because some of you pay for it. And to be honest with you, if she didn't have the money around her, externally and physically, she'd be in 10 times a worse place. So when you've got people, I think I said it a bit a year ago, that people are funding the addictions. But you've got to understand that being able to maintain an addiction is different than not being able to maintain the addiction. So if you've got someone with an addiction and they're able to maintain their addiction, they can sort of control it. They haven't got to worry about themselves running out or where they're getting the next hit from. But they also start thinking about, hang on, I can't keep spending, so I need to start having a bit in the morning and then a bit in the evening and then a bit in the... Do you understand what I'm saying? When they've got money, it's easy to do that. And you don't see the side effects of it when they've got the money. Like with Ems, you see her looking fresh-faced because of the filters. She's clean, she's tired, she gets showered every day, but the filters make her look a lot healthier than what she really is. Isn't it? When you're a pisshead, your skin's dehydrated. It doesn't matter what you do on the outside. It's getting damaged from within. So on the outside, you've got the elements that can damage your skin. Drink ruins the skin from inside out. Ages you, does all magic of the drink. But you only see the side effects of every addiction when they can't maintain it. It doesn't matter what the addiction is. If you're able to maintain your addiction every single day so you can act normal, because that's what you're doing with an addiction. When you're not on your drugs, you're not acting normal no more. Your normal is when you're on drugs. So when you can maintain your substance misuse on a daily basis, regular, you don't see the side effects. You don't see the abnormal behaviour of these people. So look, if you've got a bird and the two of you are okay for dough and she's a pothead and you're a pothead, but all of a sudden the dough goes missing. Yeah, you're not a pothead, but your bird's a pothead. Just, let's get this dynamic straight. If you've got a tidy little bird that's a pothead now, and she's sweet, she's getting a weed every day. Why? Because you're helping her, as your fella, you do what you're doing. But she's earning her own little bit of dough, she's buying her own little weed, but she's developing this habit where she's blazing spliffs every day now. It used to be have a night with you, little spliff, hot sex, sleep type of thing. Now it's daily. She's on the weed every day. And you don't see, as a fella, the side effects to it. Why? Because she's happy. She's got the weed all the time. Everything's sweet. All of a sudden, a little bit of financial difficulty along the lines. There's no weed on the scene. You will witness and notice within the 24 hours of no weed the damage that you've let happen to that bird. Because you're a fella. If you sit there with this bird saying you love this bird and you're letting that bird smoke weed, you're a rat. And if you're not trying to pull the bird away from the weed, what are you with her for? You can't love her. They go off in barnets when they haven't got the substance. Doesn't matter what the substance is, and they will do anything to get it. And look, ages ago, years ago, decade ago, 15 years ago, if your bird was a cokehead and she had no coke, she'd be behind your back for a line. Still the case today. Still the case today. This time, if your girl's a raging pothead and you're not around and she hasn't got a spliff, she's getting belted by the pot dealer, mate. What, you don't believe it, don't you? Trust me. Wolf frozen pups, you need to understand, mate. Trust me, that. And them little pot-mong birds, they're the worst for banging behind the fellas' backs. I'm telling you now. Until you've got no drugs. And you've got all these potheads, they don't realise that because they're stoned every day. And then when they go into prison, some of these kids who's been smoking weed every day, bam, 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 all of a sudden go into a system. They can't handle the lack of weed. So they go for the substitute. Spice. They can't handle the psychological breakdown, these kids, when they're coming off the weed. Because trust me, doesn't matter how big and strong you are, when you're coming off that weed, you have got a psychological battle like nothing else, mate. And a lot of people can't endure that. Honest, they can't endure the rattle off the weed these days, mate. I'm telling you straight. And don't say you don't rattle off the weed. This is what I'm saying. Half of yous have never had to rattle off the weed. What do I mean rattle? Withdraw. Withdrawal symptoms. Physical and psychological. It will have you crying like your little sister, mate. I'm telling you now. And a lot of people can't do it. On top of that, it affects your sleeping. It affects your eating. It affects your emotions. You're an erratic, chaotic, crazy. The minute you put a spliff in you, now then, mate, you're not chaotic. You're not erratic no more. Do you understand? That's facts. Any pothead, real pothead, that smoke weed all their lives, go through a process. Doesn't matter who you are. We all go through a pothead process. And you are acting in some crazy, peculiar ways, mate. I don't give a... You've been smoking weed for over 20 years. You have sat on your couch or on your chair or on your bed, gouching like a smackhead, with half a spliff stuck in your hand that's gone out. You've got ash on your bed or on your t-shirt. You're waking up like it's normal to do this. It's not. What are you saying you haven't? If you haven't, you're not a proper pothead, because every pothead goes through the same process. Everyone. You're not buying food in your cupboards, you're buying weed without skins and biffs. You'll challenge the skins and biffs just as long as you've got the weed there, it's sweet. We've all been there. Every pothead has. And you try and tell the kids, locking off, curtains closed, jumping in bed with the clothes on, waking up at 6 in the morning, putting a spliff in them, getting back in bed, not brushing their teeth, not cutting their hair. This is what happens. Honest to God, you need to get with it, use kids. Turning yourselves into schizophrenics, no one else is. Yourselves, you're damaging yourself. Lulu saying wake and baked all day. Remember that? Where did the fun come from? Hey, she's that single Mars waking and baking every morning. Kids time for the breakfast. She's got the Mars in the garden like that and going on. What do you want, some cornies? Screaming at your eldest daughter. Galloway, Galloway. Do your brother's some breakfast while you're getting stoned on your balcony. Making your 7-year-old daughter grow up in a year and acting like she's 16. Knocking the dinner up. Banging beans on toast on the cooker for herself. You're sitting there like a little pot mong. Yo, Brian, can I have a strap? I'll get me Universal on the 29th. Any chap answer a strap up, kid? Cupboards are brassic. Not even a loaf of bread and a pint of milk in the kitchen. Chubby cheeks there, chomping on a snicker. Kids like little dogs. Can we have a bite, mum? Can we have a bite, mum? In a minute, I've got the munchies. Trouble, aren't they? Especially the overweight ones. They don't get a walking around with tongues out. Have you seen the skinny potted birds? Oh my god. They've been hammered. Ham-ed. Honest to God, mate, the skinny pothead birds, wow. They think they're sexy, don't they? Hey, nearly snapping the spine to put the backside out. They haven't even got no flesh on there. Do 20 squats, think they've done a 30. Start banging gym gear on and running around the park. Joanne Evans saying hair dripping in grease, and the rest of it, girl, and the rest of it. Don't forget the sticky icky. Miss Luna B, classy you, nice one, girl. Want to share this chewing gum with me? Like a porn star from France, then, weren't I, people? Saying nothing. Sorry about that, nearly killed off that chewy. You only need a moustache like that fair bit, don't you? Do you see that plant pot on his recent interviews? He's got a muzzy like a corporation brush, mate. He's got a muzzy like the brushes Ma use and clean the streets and Toxteth. Do you see him trying to pull it off like Pavro? Little snitch, weren't he? Yes, Lulu, can't watch him, the eye does me in. Is that it? What about an afro, la?
The quickest way from a billion points of data.
You know, if you're gonna have an afro, you do it like me mates. My mate's got an afro and it's just boss. It's just like smooth. It's like the Michael Jackson one back in the day. It's like got a nest of rats in there, hasn't he? He's got a few dealers round the back there. Hey? He's got his ma in the front, brushing the gaff. He's got his bird down the other end of the afro, Selleck side. It's like a whole community in his afro, innit? What moustache he's got on his face, like. Jay Thompson saying he saw a woman with a moustache the other day. Listen, lad, I've power-necked a woman with a moustache. But it's not the type of moustache you're thinking about, my mate. Are you telling me you've never power-necked a bear that's got a little bit of fab hair on the top lip? Damn right you have. It's alright when it's see-through. You know, when the pegs, the piabs, the pubes are fluorescent. All day, mate. When you start seeing them black things sprouting from out the nose, it's next level avoidance, innit? Hey, you're going underground, not even answering the phone calls no more. In the dark, it was all fantastic. Next day, a little bit of sunlight, wow. Like she had a spider stuck up her nose, you just seen a few legs hanging out the nose. It's like, ah, shit. What have I been power necking? What did I go down on last night? Do a little shifty to the bathroom. Straight in the mirror, see if there's any leftover pigs, piabs, pubes in me tabby. Know what I'm saying, the ladies? Little tongue tickler when you're necking me. That's what they do, girls, when you've got some pubes left in your tabby. They tickle your tongue when you're power necking me. S4, who did you vote for? No one, lad. Why, who did you vote for, lad? Did you, yeah? It's right Goldie, lad. Are you generally okay, girlie? Says Jade Amelia. What do you mean, girlie? What are you suggesting, Jade, girl? Hey, Jade. What a lovely name that is, Jade. Let's just look at your profile picture. Oh my days, JD, baby. You're looking kind of swelled upstairs there, Jade. That time of month is it, girl? Hey, feeling bigger than usual, are you? Go on, you little red devil. Do a lap round the estate for us, shouting, Darren G, Darren G. Go on, I dare you, Jade. Get your ma to tape it and we'll all watch it together later. You know what I'm saying, Jady baby. What's up, that matter? How come you just follow me? The brat's laughing, so's Lulu. How come all the birds are starting to follow me? Oh, I get it. Hey, start using the tongue, everybody's hung. Like a little jury, all having a debate. How good is he? See how fast he goes through the alphabet. Oh my days, avoid them gays. You know what I'm saying, girl. Give you diseases all over gaff. Jade saying, brother. That's right, girl. This Chewy's making me feel funny right now. How about you, Jade, girl?